All right, we're gonna take these dudes plus some others, these parts from anything Scout, and we're gonna do a 24-hour LS drivability conversion, full headlights to taillights, rewire, LS 5.3 engine, suspension, brakes, you name it, we're gonna do it. 24 hours, check it out. All right, the time has finally come for our Anything Scout 24-hour LS swap. We've been dreaming about this for probably 3 years. Can we take our Anything Scout LS conversion kit and some other parts you'll see today, and our Anything Scout team of expert Scout builders and a 1976 Scout 2. Can we take all those things, put it together, and have a 24-hour complete conversion? So we're gonna go test drive this truck real quick so you can see what it's like before the swap. This is a 1976 Scout 2 304 727 automatic, just a regular old Scout. It has been restored, but nothing has been done to the engine. When we got it, it didn't run, so we did a little bit of jimmy jammerling and got the motor running. So let's go see if it starts, and we'll go for a quick test drive, and then once we're done with the video, we'll test drive it with the new transplant and new parts. Give it a shot. Okay. So I really don't know if this, I've had this truck running a couple times, but we'll see if she fires up. See, taste some of that 304 goodness. Uh-oh. Scout life. Probably not getting fuel, so I'm gonna go get some gas and pour it down the carburetor. The friend of every Scout owner, starting fluid. Let's give it a shot. Oh. Hear that 304 purr. The accelerator pedal's like really messed up. I think we're running, man. Okay, brakes don't work that good. The accelerator pump is shot in the carburetor. Feels like transmission slipping. Oh. Full throttle, dude. That is full throttle. Going 20 miles an hour. Steering is kind of sticky, meaning like when you turn it to the right or to the left, it just will stay turning to the right or to the left. So we'll pay attention to that in the build. Transmission does not shift. I got it full throttle right now. You hear the engine go, oh, she just shifted in a second. I'm not gonna go too far because then I'll be pushing this thing home. But this is reality, man, for a lot of Scout people. You buy a cool looking truck, feeling the Scout vibes and the Scout dream, and you get it and you discover that reality is far from what you thought in your mind. Like a dating app, you know, you see someone that looks good on paper, but then, man, be in for a world of hurt. Yeah, dude, that's full throttle, dude. This thing's sweet. Let's see, that's all she's got, dude. If we did a 0 to 60 test, it'd be like 15 seconds, 0 to 60. I don't even know if we can go 60. The gauges are working. It's got pretty low oil pressure. Brakes are terrible. Anyway, so it's gonna be quite a transformation. Well, that was a good test drive. The next and last drive this original drivetrain we'll have is going through that door right in front of us. Pulling in that door, and then we'll start the timer at 10 a.m. and we're rocking and rolling. that's it, guys and girls and people and families. Timer started. Scout's in. It's the last time it's ever gonna run like that. So let's get cracking.
Made that impact. Sean, turn around.
Just taking the hood off. It's the first joy of the day. 8 a.m. Mike, what are we doing there?
Draining the coolant out so we can pull the motor and not make a big, huge mess.
It's a pretty creative technique.
Yep, a little vacuum pump.
Not out too.
I'm going to drain the master cylinder and then I'm going to hook the vacuum one up to the far one and see if we can get all the brake fluid out too.
What you doing, Ben?
I'm taking the door panel off so we can get this door off because, whoa, big spider. Ah. Dead spider. Okay, I'm taking the door panel off so we can get these doors off so we have clear access to the inside of the truck. It's gonna be great.
Team is buzzing, man. It's exciting to see. As they say in the Western world, this is not our first rodeo, so that's good. I'm just taking the grill off. We'll leave the fenders on. Grill will come out because we are. I think Ben said this, but we're going to be taking the body. When we do our swaps, we remove the body. That gives us better access to everything. You get a cleaner, better job, and we can more thoroughly inspect everything. So pretty cool. Sweet.
Doesn't seem like the right way to use this for this.
Ben, what's going on?
Step
how you
one,
doing?
we skipped step one, but I just took care of it.
What was step one?
Take the battery out.
And you just took that out?
Yeah, after we disconnected a bunch of other stuff. It's fine.
Yo, trying to loosen up the steering box so we can get the steering shaft out when we get the body off. Since the steering column is attached to the frame, and we need to separate that.
Dash here. You'll see this is a classic thing that people do. They just rig things together and hope it stays. There's a special little cable clamp on there instead of the proper accelerator cable grommet, which we sell on our website. It's very cheap, easy to install. Don't do rig job stuff like that. It's awful. Terrible. It's just terrible.
Radiator going.
All right, things have been going great. We're in hour 2, so it's 24. I think we're going for an hour and a half, which is great. We got the body off, frame separated, doors off, sheet metal. These guys are working on painting body, painting the inner fenders and engine bay. Mike's cleaning up some work in the back. These guys are working on the chassis. I think goal within the next 20 minutes is to have this engine transmission transfer case out in one piece. Gas tank out, and then Ben, we're gonna take her out and get her hot seat, right?
Hot seat it up.
We're gonna hot seat the chassis. Things are going great. It's fun to be working as a team. I am not doing much, but that's okay. Thanks for watching.
It is, what, hour and a half in almost. Just got the body off the chassis. Now we're going to cut everything that we don't need to save off, get this engine out, and clean it up, get some motor mounts on, and keep on moving.
Out with the old, shortly in with the new.
I like that ring.
Okay, we got the chassis over here. Tyler's cut some stuff off, but I just wanted to real quick show you guys all the grease on this skid plate. This thing is cake to the moon. I don't know if you can see just how deep that is. Just years of 40 weight oil collecting here. Good news is it makes all these bolts easy to get off because they're just saturated in oil and grime. So get this thing going, pressure wash it, clean it up, back over there to build it out.
Chassis is ready. Tyler's got the motor mounts off, trans cross. Remember all the cutting and fabrication. You guys have seen some of that is happening. He's gonna now weld the motor mounts, correct?
Yep.
He's gonna weld motor mounts. And then they'll start on the suspension, axles, that kind of stuff. Roughly.
Well, yeah.
Motor is being further prepped. We got motor mounts on. We got cross member set in place. Bam. We got wiring harness, PSI conversion wiring harness on. Headers are going on. Everything's going on. We got a few more parts to put on the motor, right?
Yep.
And then hopefully by the time Tyler's done with the chassis, are we putting the motor in before the axles come out?
Yes, we're gonna.
Put on jack stands.
Well, no. So we're gonna put the motor in, get everything welded up in place, pull the motor back out, pull everything apart. Then we'll take the frame and paint it real quick.
Okay. Sick. So we'll give another update in a couple hours. Thanks for tracking along.
Yep.
You guys, how easy our frame side engine mounts are to install. It's got this notch out here, lines up with the bump stop underneath the frame. Literally, pops on here, slides up against the frame. I like to grab a tape measure and double check from the front of the frame to this mount, just to compare side to side and make sure I'm square. But it's that simple.
Oh yeah, dude. So right now I'm just plugging all the holes on the firewall with some good old Gorilla Tape, so that when we hot see it, we're not spraying water into the cabin.
Okay, currently at body, over getting the engine bay painted, getting some other stuff prepped out. Chassis, we got both the axles off. Those are getting torn down and kind of rebuilt. Got the engine mocked in, so motor mounts, transmission mounts are in. Tyler is working on exhaust, and then all those pieces will come back together.
Alright, we got the engine in, got the trans mounts tacked up, got the Y pipe on there, and while the body is off getting engine bay and everything painted, I am going to start laying the exhaust out, get all that hung, and then once that's done, pull the drivetrain back out, frame over to paint, and get
It's taking out the old axle. It's gonna take it out quick so they can take the frame to paint. All right, we're here at the 24-hour swap. We are, I don't know, 5.5 hours in. Team's doing pretty well, but the clock is always ticking, man, as they say. Father Time's always coming for you. So, Mattio's working on the rear axle. We're gonna get ready to do the brakes, check axle bearings, check ring and pinion, do some cleanup. That'll be cool. Front axle is torn down. David's got that already inspected the gears. They look good. Tyler, I believe, has got the frame fully welded. So motor was in, motor's now out, exhaust hangers, everything's set, man. It's gonna be good. So next, Tyler, what's next for the frame?
Well, we gotta prep it out, so we're gonna go ahead and epoxy prime the whole thing.
Oh, wow.
We're gonna prep it out, then get over to paint guys.
Okay, frame going to paint, guys. I'm gonna go get some snacks and drinks. Be back. You're shaking the bush, boss. It's all good.
Hey guys,
Okay, guys, so if we look at the timer, we're at 7 hours. We're cresting right on the 7-hour mark. The team is killing it. They're working hard, drinking Red Bulls. If we look over there to my right, to your left, engine bay has been painted. Fenders have been waxed by yours truly. Doing the important stuff. Engine bay has been clean, painted. Dash is removed. We're getting prepped on that. We decided to epoxy prime the frame. Again, it's not a full. I think they just epoxy primed it, just to clean it up a little bit, protect it a little more. So, and all the fabrication's been done. So that motor right there, Lane and David have been working on that. I think it's pretty well built out, ready to go in. So we're gonna see some exciting progress in the next 2 to 4 hours. Is the most exciting time of this build.
Hey guys. I don't know how things are going. I'm tired and I'm hot and I'm soaked because I've been pressure washing things. But things are moving along. Nobody's angry. Everybody's really, really stoked out of their minds, and we're about to have some energy drinks. Those are bad for you.
All right, Pitman Arm Steering Box, PSC, high quality powder coated Pitman Arm stock. We tend to not like a drop Pitman Arm for this application. Line it up straightforward. That's all she is. Do straightforward. Michael, after that you can install that sway bar too. Okay. Our tables are getting more empty. That means more parts are going off the table into the Scout. Mike is working on probably the most nerve-wracking and tedious task of the bunch, that is the wiring. We're doing a full headlights to taillights rewire. Normally about a 35-hour job. We're trying to do it in 6 hours. Mattio's building out the engine bay. Batteries in, battery hold down, computer he's going to be able to put this awesome brake booster that somebody built back in. When is that going to happen?
You know, here in a couple minutes.
Okay, great. So this is the exciting part. Oh yeah, some radical dude put these horns in. That's pretty sweet. Anyway, it's all fun. We'll check back in another hour and a half, and we got some awesome barbecue for dinner. All right, it's drive shaft time. We love Tom Woods, so we're gonna slap the drive shafts in. Just build quality stuff. Always get our dimensions right. When you're ordering drive shafts, it's a little nerve-wracking because you have to like take measurements, and then you send those measurements to someone. They build your drive shafts, and if there's something wrong, it stinks. So anyway, I'm gonna slap these in. Yeah.
Are you just kidding?
No, the steering wheel is. Yeah.
This is put like one. Yeah, put like one. On the other side.
What about it? It's in. Ish. Ish.
Maybe we should have all the wires.
Yeah, we should probably. It's getting there.
All right, what's up everybody? How you doing? We're doing great here. As you can see, we just clipped the 12-hour left mark. So that means we are halfway through the 24-hour LS swap, which has been live streaming the whole time. We've had a really faithful, probably 80 to 100 people with us live streaming. So I'm pretty stoked on that crew of people. It's been really fun. And it's accountability because they know we're not messing around. Yeah, so let me just walk you through what things have been happening. Engine bay is pretty much all built out. We're doing like some fine tuning ground straps and things like that. Dash is back in. Steering column is getting set. Just about. Chassis is like almost done. We got a small list of stuff left on the chassis. Exhaust is in. Wiring's done. Brake hard lines are done. We got the Kenda wheels and tires on here. Fuel lines are done. So anyway, we're gonna keep cranking. The next big moment for all of us is when we take this chassis and that body and we put them back together for their final run. And then, hard to say, man. I think in 4 hours we'll have those two things back together. So stay with us. Keep cranking.
How much coffee have you had in normal measurements? How many cups of coffee would you say you've had?
Just like maybe 3 or 4.
3 or 4. What size is your cup?
You didn't ask that.
I just did.
Oh. It's smaller than a barrel.
Okay.
And bigger than a styrofoam cup.
Oh yeah, guys, we're about to put the Wizard in the truck. Wizard radiator. A couple unboxing little tips. This piece comes installed in the cap or filler place there. I'm tired. I can't remember words right now. But it comes installed there. It's best to move that over to the steam port. This is your steam port that you're going to use to hook up to your LS engine. And then this is your overflow little 90-degree. We recommend putting a 90-degree fitting, hose barb fitting in there to hook up to the bottom of your overflow tank. The 90-degree fitting helps with hose routing. It just makes it look a lot cleaner. So, little recommendation there. Also, make sure you use a lot of Teflon tape or pipe dope. I prefer Teflon tape just to seal these up. They come without any sealing on them, so make sure you seal them up when you take it out of the box. Same with the petcock down here, the drain. You want to take that out and seal it up as well, because again, it doesn't come with any Teflon or pipe dope on it, so make sure you do that before you add antifreeze. Other than that, we're going to take the shroud off, flip this little thing around, because they have a little nice tag here explaining that they put it in backwards just for shipping so that it doesn't get all bent up. Make sure you pay attention to that. Then we're going to pop it in the truck. It's going to be great.
Yep.
Low one, right? Low one.
This moment brought to you by Wizard Cooling. All of your radiator needs in one company.
Jake! Down. Down over here. I was concentrating on getting you.
Beautiful.
Just getting ready to run the PSI harness. Getting ready to send some of the wires into the cab. Route the other wires into the engine bay.
All right, what's up, everybody? I'm here with Matteo.
What's up, yo?
So look at the timer. We got 10 hours, 20 minutes left, and if you haven't noticed, the body is back on the chassis. So the team has been working super hard. We built out the full rolling chassis, really very complete. The body, the wiring is about, Mike, what do you think the wiring is about? What percentage?
I'm probably 90% done.
Really, we're about 90% done on the wiring. Now it's time to put everything together. You know, just like that good song, you got the verse, you got you got a little hook going on, you got some lyrics going on, you got the bridge figured out, but you got to put it all together, man. You need that chorus. And so that's what we're looking for. But it looks dope, man. This is looking good. The stance is dialed. We're pretty excited. So check back in. We'll come back in a couple hours, and we should be like starting to put the grill back on, starting to really button up things in the engine bay and the interiors.
We are wiring the tail section, so that is tail lights, that is running lights for the license plate, and Ben is working on the fuel system, and I'm getting the back wrapped up.
There's a spider. It's big and it's yellow and it's fast and it's crawling around where I'm reaching my hands where I can't really see, and it's scaring me. So I'm gonna try and kill it with some brake clean. It's scary.
Wiring harness. Sealing the wiring harness is important.
I test my long core.
Nice. Ooh, yeah.
Showing off for the camera, bro.
He's a professional.
Can we get the ladder up? Yeah, look how high I can do it. Filling the transmission with a little bit of deck smirk.
Yeah, dude.
We're working out all the kinks from the brake system, bleeding through it, and we got some leaks. So chasing those down, seeing what we can do, fix it, sort it.
Michael, one more time, pump it up.
It's gonna be good. You need brakes.
Okay, guys and girls and pets, let's look at the timer. 6 hours, 17 seconds left in the 24-hour LS conversion. Now, and again, we use the term LS swap very loosely because this was a full, as you guys saw throughout the episode, a full frame, not a frame off restoration by any means, but it was a full mechanical redo with a modernization. So I want to just walk you through. We're getting really close. We got one more. We probably got another, what do you think, another hour, hour and a half before we try to start it? Okay, so we're, I know it's always this like knock on wood issue, like, oh, the second you say it's going to start right, who knows? I don't know if it's going to start. The live stream has been running non-stop for 20 whatever.
I never did find the license.
18 hours. So we have lots of witnesses that this is not tampered with. This is not TV magic. This is not 1 week, like, oh, 24 hours. And we're all just happen to wear the same shirts. But let's walk around. Come around this way.
I don't know. The question is
Like, we restored the gauges. We put, Lane's putting a new glove box liner in. Cleaned up all the controls. New e-brake cables, new brakes, new steering, cooling, exhaust, you name it, we kind of did it mechanically. We even rebuilt, well, cleaned and lubed, reworked the doors so the regulators and windows all work well. So anyway, shifters are done. We got to put the dash pad on, and this thing's pretty ready to toke up. Let's go check out under the hood. We got the Gen 3 2006 era 5.3 liter. Ben is just wrapping up the jumper cables. The guy has been a beast today. Come on, dude. So, man, a lot of work. It's been so fun being with the guys and having the team, man, all in one space. One-minded. Task focused, mission focused. It's gonna be good, man. It's gonna give us good. We're gonna sleep in this weekend. Maybe be a little dragging on Monday, but it'll be worth it because it's gonna help us hit full stride.
I'll be breathing fire like a dragon on Monday.
Yeah.
Get it, dragon on Monday, like a dragon, fire.
That's Ben's 18-hour jokes. Anyway, we're gonna wrap up this segment. We'll come back for sure when we're ready to fire this beast up, and then we're going to pull it out, go for a test drive. Then we're going to shut them keys off, shut the ignition off, and then we're going to go get some sleep. All right, everybody. So we're here. It's something o'clock in the morning. 4:58, almost 5 in the morning. We got 5 hours left. We're gonna go for a startup. Let's hope for the best. We got an e-brake set, brake pedal pressed. Hopefully she's in park. You guys ready? We'll let the fuel pump cycle a little bit. Turns over fast. Getting any fuel pressure?
Not yet. Can you give me like a screwdriver?
Good thing we got 5 hours left. Hey-o. Okay, here we go, guys. Big moment.
wants it.
Puffing.
She wants it, dude.
It's like my grandma on a pack of Camel no filters. R.I.P. Ooh, hear that MagnaFlow and the clacking. Like Matty O's joints in the morning. Full vertebrae clack. Let it run, let it run. It's all right. All right, everybody. What I want you to do is look at this truck. Look at me. Look at the truck. I'm kidding. No, look at that truck, man. Look at that timer. 4 hours and 41 minutes left. That means we did this swap in under 20 hours. We have an amazing team, an amazing set of parts, and a well thought through process. As the old cowboys say, it's not our first rodeo, but we're grateful to be riding. So anyway, what we're gonna do, we're gonna put on the doors, and then we're gonna go for a little test drive like we did yesterday morning, which feels like this morning. We went for a little test drive. Couldn't get it over like 30 miles an hour full throttle. So we're gonna do it up, man. It's gonna be fun. So next time we talk, we'll be in the truck driving out of here. Official timer. We have 4 hours and 13 minutes left. We'll lift that key. Don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. She's still new. I know. It's exciting, man. We just drove this thing yesterday. Remember how much trouble we were having? In the land of this video, that'll be 24 minutes ago. What do you think? Should we rip on it or take her easy?
I don't know, man.
Thing's a bit of a rattle box, but that's okay. We'll fix all that. We're gonna still do a bunch of work to it. Woo! It's exciting. Drive's pretty rad, man. Obviously, there's so much left to do, meaning testing, tuning. This is the first 500 feet this truck's ever driven with a new heart, so we're pretty stoked. Man, what a day, what an accomplishment. A full LS swap, and I'm not talking just an LS swap, I'm talking a frame off, full mechanical redo with a modern engine, brake, steering, rewire, dude, a full rewire. All the nuts and bolts, pulled the dash out, restored the gauges, all that kind of fun stuff in less than 20 hours. It's a huge accomplishment. We're really stoked. We're gonna go sleep. Thanks for being with us on the journey. And man, I appreciate you guys watching this video till the end, and hope that you'll like it, subscribe, share it with your friends. We're really trying to grow the channel, and just it's good for our scout community. And we're trying to make good videos. They're not only entertaining, but educational, informative, and just plain out fun to watch. So thanks for joining us. We will see you next time when we do something crazy. We'll have some more builds of this truck too, but thanks. See you later.